Now, as we write a substantial part of our introductions, we will also parallelly populate the references, right? So ensure that you keep on populating the references section alongside you write the study proposal, right? So suppose you are at a stage where you have not started writing methodology in detail, but you have just completed the introduction section. Ensure that you also complete the relevant references of the introduction towards the end of the document. Just because it comes towards the end of the document does not mean that you write them later. You write them as you keep on citing, right? So references are important. You have to be meticulous about your references, and please keep in mind that whatever scoring system that ICMR uses to evaluate the STS applications, there is a definite proportion of marks which is given to references. So this is probably the easiest to fetch marks upon, right? So if your references are meticulous and they follow a particular Vancouver style, probably that's the least that we can get marks around. The reference that you have cited also reflects your meticulous review of literature. How many references can be there? So in introduction, we say that any number of references within the range of 7 to 10 should be fine. Right? Your initial concept can have 3 or 4 references. The numbers that you write to justify the disease burden might be in the range of 1 to 3. What is known around the topic, and when you describe such similar studies, 2 or 3 should suffice. But if you feel that, say, for example, you found many of similar studies, you found 6, 7 such similar studies, in which case, please understand that if there are a lot of similar studies, think twice whether it's still a novel topic, or are you going to overcome some of the limitations of previous studies. And if you are finding too many similar studies, think of citing a systematic review. So you'll be able to cite only one reference and include the findings, summarize so many studies at once when you cite one systematic review. As part of this course, we are recommending to the students that they go through ICMR priority areas once, and mostly they would find that the topic that they are narrowing down to fits into one of those priority areas. So it would be good to cite the ICMR priority areas also to strengthen our study rationale and saying that my topic is something which is included within the priority areas, which is on these ICMR priority areas of research, right? So that's a little about references. So this is how the cited references would look like within the text. Say, for example, the sentence where a reference is needed, the reference appears like this, right? So the reference appears in numbers. So the numbers keep on changing as you write. So say, for example, if the same study is cited once again in the paper, it will come out with the same number. Yeah. So then I go to, if I wish to find out what is this one number reference, I would have to go towards the end of the document in the list of references, and my list of references would look something like this. This is cited as per Vancouver style. There are multiple styles of citing references. Mostly the medical literature uses Vancouver style of referencing. And in the next slides, we are going to look at in detail about what is Vancouver style. Now, it's important for us to understand that the type of sources that we refer to could be many, but commonly people tend to refer to 3 common sources, for which we are going to show you what this Vancouver style would look like. Now, many of us would, and then there are multiple resources available online, which probably would convert your article or study or website or the book that you have read. With just a single click, they'll convert the bibliographic information into the Vancouver style. So you will have such kind of services and online tools available, which will prepare your reference list as per Vancouver style, or probably it will help you improvise or correct your reference list as per to fit into the Vancouver style. But the next 3 slides where we are sharing the conceptual understanding will help you. Many times those AI tools make many mistakes in generating a reference list, and we should not be leaving any fault in the reference list, because this is the easiest section where we can gain good marks, right? So you should always, so before submitting, you should always have a manual review of your reference list and check that your reference list contains all the needed elements. So the common three sources that people cite is articles, books, and websites. So this is the first one. So what are the common elements of citing an article? There are 6 elements, right? So we'll use the example, the screenshot here. First is the authors. So please understand how commonly medical literature writes the authors. It's usually last name followed by initial of the first name. So let's say if I am Parag Chavda, my name would appear as Chavda P. So my name is Parag and my initial is P. So I would appear as Chavda P. So similarly, this particular person is Veronese U. So Veronese is last name, U is the first name, and whatever be the number of authors. Usually, for more than 3 or more than 6 authors are there, you follow them up with the word et al. So first is the author, second is article title, the third one is the name of the journal title, fourth one is date, year of publication. Sometimes they give you the month and dates as well. But whatever you write in your STS proposal, keep it uniform. So if you are giving the months and dates, give it for all the articles. For some of the articles, if date is not there, it's always good to write only the year of publication. There is no space followed by semicolon, followed by no space and volume and issue. The issue goes into small brackets. Right? So some of the journals do not have issue numbers. Some of the journals do have issue numbers. So if you do not have issue numbers, volume would immediately be followed by the page numbers, right? So take care of the spacing here. There is no spacing after you write the year of publication. And between the year and the volume number, there is semicolon. And between the issue number, or if not issue number, between the volume and the page number, there is a column with no spacing. So this this level of meticulousness people are expecting in references. That's how you cite references. Of course, your tools would be able to make a primary draft. Next is how do you cite a book? So say for example, we take an example here. So books would be of 2 types. One is, let's say there is a single author book or there are 2 or 3 authors. And then there's another type of books where there are 2 or 3 editors and each chapter is written by a separate author. So there may be 2 or 3 editors and there may be a long list of 25 authors, right? So in which case, the book cover would contain name of the editors, but your chapter heading would contain name of the chapter author, right? So let's say this is the edited book. So these are the editors. This is the book title. This is edition of the book, and this is the secondary author. Then place of the publication, name of the publisher, year of the publication, and the page numbers. Okay? So these are the 2 such examples there, with editors and without editors. The third one is citing any of the websites. So in the initial part of the introduction, we'll be citing websites. So you would usually have the website author. So many times, say for example, if it is a blog, you might have one person who is owner of the blog as the author. But usually the kind of websites that you would refer to would be websites belonging to authentic organizations where the organization would be author. So the first word that you write would be some kind of an organization who could be identified as author of that particular web page, followed by title of that particular web page, followed by type of the medium. Right? So we write into square brackets internet and place of publication. So this would be city, followed by name of the publisher. Right? So this is similar to what was there in the books. Right? Followed by date of publication, and then there are 2 dates. One is if this resource was edited. Right? So many times, if you go into the details, you will find out the date when the website was updated. Okay? This date is separate. This date is the date when you cited. Right? So on internet, it would also, when you refer to websites, because websites keep on changing their content. They are dynamic, right? So when at the time of writing your protocol, it will always be a good idea to download. Say, for example, in the HTML form, whatever website content was there when you cited or when you visited that particular website, because the contents might change later on, right? So if you wish to save as to what did you see on that particular web page when you cited, so this is the date as when, date of citing the particular website. And since it's a website, you finally give also the URL of the website as well. So this is one such example. Say Food Safety and Standards Authority of India is the author. Eat Right India page is the web page. New Delhi is the city of publication. Ministry, Government of India is publisher, and it is cited on this particular date, right? Sometimes if you don't find out the information when the web page was updated, that's perfectly fine. And the website as well, the link to the website. So these are the common three sources, the articles, books, and websites that we are going to cite in the references list. So this is what we primarily wanted to discuss about starting to write your proposals. A large